Miranda Kamal is a force both inside and outside the ring. At the age of 16, she was sexually assaulted. But instead of allowing that horrific incident to define her path in life, she took charge. Boxing became her path forward, and it has now led her to a stronger future. Breaking barriers and stereotypes and giving women opportunities only a decade ago were only afforded to men. Miranda is a former boxer. She's a certified international coach. She coaches for Team Canada now, and I'm so glad to have her on the program. Miranda, welcome.
Wow, Angie, thank you so much for that awesome intro.
You're very welcome. It's great to see you. Let's go back a bit to your life before boxing. I mean, you're a survivor in so many ways. What can you share with us?
Yeah, so to be honest, my first sport was actually ping pong. I'm an East Coast girl, so I took up the sport of table tennis and quickly did well. I went to my first Canada Games at age 13, and that's when I first saw boxing, but there was no women. But every other sport, we were so drawn to the boxers as if they were superheroes. We're like, wow, they're so awesome. So then, to your point, close to my 16th birthday, I was sexually assaulted, and that just changed everything for me. I used to be a, outgoing person, very in all, and I was involved in all sports. And then that changed me. And all of a sudden I went from feeling like there was no fear in me to just feeling unsafe. And it wasn't until I took up boxing as an adult under Egerton Marcus, who won a medal for Canada at the '88 Olympics, that I somehow started to gain that sense of safety back, and I started to feel safe again.
So much time in between that horrific incident to your adulthood that and many might say that you kind of lost. Boxing kind of brought it back to you. Talk to me a bit more about how it gave you that new perspective, gave you that safety, and changed things for you.
Yeah, Angie, you know what? A lot of people see boxing as a violent sport, but truthfully, many of the people who come to boxing are survivors of some type of trauma. And whether it's trauma like me in a sexual assault or, just trauma, death can be a trauma, or, different forms that we all experience different forms of trauma. But what boxing does is it teaches us through vigorous exercise that we can face fear and we can do it alone. So to your point, as a survivor, now that I know boxing, it doesn't mean that I would have been able to change the outcome of that assault. But what it means now is I can move on with my life and I can feel safe in my surroundings. And I know that, after going into the ring, that I can do it on my own. Like, it takes a team to get there, but once you're in there, it's so peaceful. And it's a time when you don't have to be a kind and nurturing woman. You don't have to be any title. You just get to be free. And it's one of the most peaceful experiences that I've had in my life.
You have an opportunity to sort of be you in that ring.
Yeah.
You competed, suffered a spinal injury that cut your career short, but you're still in the ring. You're coaching, one of only a few female coaches at this elite level, and that's breaking so many barriers there. So talk to me a little bit about that. We've got just, about 30 seconds or so left here, but that's also inspiring so many other women, young girls, to see what opportunities are there.
Yeah, I recently got hired with Team Canada, and we were at a continental championship. We had 12 athletes. We came away with 8 medals. I was one of three women at the event. So 200 athletes, 75 women athletes, but only 3 women coaches, one from Team Canada, one from USA, one from Team Mexico. So to be a part of that group, obviously there was women who came before me to help pave the way, and I'm grateful for that. And we still have a lot of progress to make, but I had a dad come to my gym recently and say, like, hey, for a little girl here in South Parkdale, it's amazing to see what you're doing. And that's something really important to me.
You're breaking that physical barrier as well, Miranda, which for women, oh my goodness, I am not a big person. I'm about 5'4". It is an important barrier to break indeed.
It is. And I mean, it's all about your heart. It doesn't matter how big or how small you are. Boxing takes everyone. So, Angie, you're welcome to come by. I could teach you a few moves.
It would be my pleasure. It's wonderful. And it's such a pleasure to speak with you, Miranda. Thank you for continuing to break those barriers in what you're doing. Miranda Kamal, former boxer, certified international coach for Team Canada. Stay safe and well, Miranda. We'll see you soon.